Good day, happy travelers. Seven Continents Travel Agency here today, talking about shore excursions in Wellington, New Zealand. So if you're watching this, you're one of two people. One, you've booked a cruise, or two, you're thinking of booking a cruise and you want to see what there is available provided by Royal Caribbean at the port of call Wellington. On this screen, this is the shore excursion overview screen. You'll see a couple things. One, some things are 1% off. Two, there is limited availability. This cruise does leave in about a week and a half time. So if you're planning for later in the year or perhaps 2025 and beyond, just know that, hey, there are some things that are hot. And as we scroll down, you will see that there's another item with limited availability. But as close as we are, there's nothing sold out yet. So that's an encouraging sign. So if you have like the Caribbean state of mind where you just get on the ship, book things as they go, there are some things that have a limited capacity, so you may want to be mindful of that. Let's hop into some of the details. We're going to talk about age, weight, and height limitations, as well as any noted mobility concerns that the provider has advised Royal Caribbean of. So on the cable car experience, $164 for an adult, $121 for kids, 4 hours long. You got one leaving at 8:30, another one at 10:15, and you're going to see the items listed here. Feel free to pause to read them. Here is a nice little summary of that little paragraph up there. If you're more of a Cliff Notes person, but a cable car, it's going to take you, you're going to see some stuff. Regarding mobility concerns, make sure you can walk over 3/4 of a mile. There's about 15 steps. Somebody counted it, and there is some loose dirt with some slight inclines and declines. Remember, what goes up must go down, and I guess there must be some wildlife on here because it says, hey, there's going to be animals, and they're unpredictable. Must be at that Zealandia sanctuary. There's always animals at that sanctuary. There will be probably a waiver based on this last little paragraph. So if you're interacting with animals and one gets a little, animal-like, that is worth noting. If you're a Lord of the Rings fan and a big fan of the Weta Workshop, this is for you. There you go, Lord of the Rings filming location. And you get some orcs, you get all sorts of stuff here. $204 per guest, 3.5 hours long, 2 departure times, one at 8:30 in the morning, one at 12:30 in the afternoon. And if you're a Middle-earth fan, you're going to be well taken care of here. Here's some of the highlights of what you're going to see. And there's some grass and pavement, not suitable for guests with mobility concerns. So that is the note we're looking for. Nothing worse than spending a couple $100 on an excursion not everyone can enjoy. We're not done with Lord of the Rings yet. How about a Wellington region Lord of the Rings tour? $479 per guest, 8 hours long, leaves at 8:30 in the morning. And in short, you're going to get a Lord of the Rings experience and see all that there is to see Lord of the Rings like for example, how about Isengard? Hopefully they don't take you to Mordor. Guests with mobility concerns should not do this. Be advised of your physical health. And there's a family-style lunch. Tea and coffee is included. Want to get away from Lord of the Rings and go bicycle? $204 per guest, 4 hours long, leaves at 10 in the morning. You're going to hop on a bike and you're going to see Wellington. Paragraph up here probably explains more about that, but that's the gist. Here's a highlight of which paraphrases the above paragraph. Pause if you want to read more, but you're going to be cycling for about 3 hours on paved surfaces, and this is not wheelchair accessible. Be mindful of your pre-existing injuries. Panorama Botanic Gardens and a museum. $112 per guest, 3.5 hours long. One leaves at 9 a.m., one leaves at 1 p.m. And it's a fun-filled day to see the items listed here. Mount Victoria to take in the views, take a selfie. Let your friends know you're having fun, they're not. 600 yards of walking. And so if you have some mobility concerns, make sure that 600 yards of walking can be completed. How about Wellington City and Shipwreck Coast? $119 per guest, 4 hours and 45 minutes long, leaves at 9 in the morning. And you're going to go see the city, see the coast. These are the words here that will explain exactly what that means. Tour distance, walking 400 yards. And that, just make sure the folks in your party are comfortable with 400 yards. Here's Mount Victoria, 112 per guest. So Museum Gardens and Mount Victoria, 3.5 hours long, 9 a.m. and a 1 p.m. departure. And you're going to see those items listed there, and 700 yards of walking. How about a bush nature walk? 240 per adult, 126 for kids. Leaves at 8:30 for 3 hours of adventure. And you're going to go off and see a garden. And then you're going to do these items listed here. See some birds, see some nature. And if you have a wheelchair, this is not recommended for you. 2 hours of walking, steps, uneven paths. 4 spots left on the Seal Coast Safari Tour. $269 per adult, $159 for kids. 3.5 hours long. Leaves at 1 p.m. And you're going to see all of the items listed here that somehow involve looking at a seal and the coast. You're going to have a knowledgeable guide, which is my favorite, as opposed to an unknowledgeable guide, which is not very helpful. 350 yards of walking, grassy, uneven terrain, a waterproof jacket, and comfortable water shoes are recommended. Walking, not water, walking shoes. And the seals are unpredictable. So make a note of it. How about a historical gray town and Martinborough wine region, $297 per adult, 6.5 hours long, leaves at 9 in the morning. You're going to see the items listed here. If you don't like reading that sentence, there's a whole bunch of highlights of what you're going to enjoy right here. That is what the excursion is. Legal age is 18 to enjoy some alcohol. ID. They may ID you. They might. This is the first time I've actually seen them note that particular clause. So there you go. And lastly, how about a Harbor Explorer cruise? $115 for an adult, $65 for kids. 2 hours long, leaves at 10. And on your cruise, it's an eco-conscious cruise, which I always enjoy. You're going to see the item listed there in the overview. Highlights further explain on what you will see on your 2-hour adventure. Got to be able to ascend and descend stairs without assistance. And there you go. It will be canceled if the wind is strong, and of course alcohol may be available if that is what you're looking to enjoy. So if this is the stop in Wellington, I hope you saw something you wanted to do, or at least confirmed that there was something you didn't want to do. And until the next video, I hope you travel safe.